So there I was in my mid-40s, had a perfect life. 2 great kids, great husband, beautiful condominium. I lived in Austin, Texas, the hip capital of the world. And I just wasn't happy. I was pretty discontented and I was looking for answers. So some things I had started to do was look for creative outlets because I thought, well, maybe my creativity is stifled. And so when my daughter started at a new school, she had to take cello lessons, and I had always been fascinated with the cello, and I thought I'll take lessons with her. And so I did. I started taking cello lessons when I was 45. It was amazing, by the way, hard, but amazing. Another thing I had started to do was look for opportunities to take what I was calling a momcation. And these were little trips I would take by myself, without my family, and recharge and reconnect with whatever was going on inside of me. I saw an ad for an adult cello camp, and this camp was actually geared towards beginners, and I could not believe it because it was in Mendocino County, and then the town that it was in was called, wait for it, Philo, California. That's my name, Philo. So I thought, yay, I have a town in Mendo, and there's a cello camp there, I gotta go. So that's what I made plans to go. I decided to drive from Austin, Texas to Northern California. I love road trips, and West Texas is beautiful to drive across. And so I did that too. Once I got to California, I took the coastal route north to drive along the ocean. It was gorgeous. It was one of those gift days where there's not a cloud in the sky, and the ocean and the sky were like 2 sheets of blue color, unbelievably gorgeous. I'm driving on this curvy road for hours, and the whole time the ocean the waves are crashing, on the coast beside me, and I'm driving along, and there's, air coming through the car, and the car's moving, and I'm just feeling all this movement. I felt the earth moving. And then I had my period as well, and so I felt like I was literally flowing with the universe. So that was how I showed up at cello camp, just super opened up and very inspired. And during this time, my mind got a break as well, because when you're 46 and you are learning to play the cello and learning to read music and try to play with other people all at the same time, that's all you can focus on. So you don't have time to focus on all the yammering, worry voices that usually are there. Well, one day I was walking in the garden after lunch, and I was looking down at this little yellow flower and just kind of amazed at how yellow it was. The color was so intense. And all of a sudden I heard this voice, and I almost jumped. I almost looked around. I thought, is somebody else here? Because this voice said so clearly, it said, you have to move. And that was it. That's all I got. But it was so strong and not from within me. It was a different quality of a voice. It had more authority. It didn't come from in here. It came from either out there or somewhere in me here. Totally different voice than I'd ever heard before. And I couldn't forget it. It stayed with me the rest of my time there. It stayed with me as I was driving across the bridge into San Francisco to go back home. I almost felt started to get more and more excited. I thought, I am being given permission to chase this dream that I've actually had for a long time. And the flip side of that is, by the time I got back to Austin, I felt more out of place than ever. So that was tricky because I couldn't just pack up a U-Haul and head back. I had 2 kids, I had a husband, I had work, we had a beautiful condo, we had a life in Austin. So I waited for it to fade. I waited for that, the voice to fade, the memory of it, and it wouldn't. It absolutely would not. In fact, it got stronger. So after 2 years, we did eventually move from Austin, Texas to Northern California. And with my daughter and I and our 2 cellos, we kind of led the way. We went first because she needed to start in a new high school there. But it put me on the track to completely changing my life. And it was the path I was supposed to be on. So that's my story about how I received my call. I would love to hear yours. I do believe that in midlife, we are called to take what we've learned, examine it, maybe mix it up a little bit, maybe take some new steps, create something really cool and amazing, and put it out there where it can have impact, positive impact in the world. that's what I'm working on, and it's a big piece actually of the Dream Biz Test Drive course, where we devote a whole unit to this process of thinking about your call, how it interacts with your customers' values, and it ties it all together in a really beautiful way. So check that out if this is raising some question marks for you. Thank you very much.